All right, so now we are live. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this live webinar today. And what I wanted to do is talk about SharpSocial. Now, you've probably seen many of my emails have been coming out talking about this awesome tool. And I know that many of you have already jumped on board. You're probably here to see more about SharpSocial and why you really need this for your business. So let me just pause what I'm doing here real quick. Frank, I'm going to grab the YouTube link. I'm going to go over to YouTube and let's let everybody say hello. So feel free to drop into the comment box there. If you hear us loud and clear. Hey, Kayla. Kyla, that's awesome. Happy Puppy Day, Our World Enterprises. Hey, Michael. Hey, Our World. How you doing?
Hey, Michael, pass over the YouTube link in Skype. That way I can monitor the questions.
Yeah, absolutely, Frank. Just a moment. Let me get this over to you. Perfect. Excellent. Let me just let this refresh. Hey, Columbia, how are you doing? Good to see you. Dave. Hey, Dave. Perfect. Yep, totally recognize you, dude. Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for coming in. All right, so what you got to understand, this is something I wrote yesterday. I wrote out an email and I said, okay, this isn't what it is. And what I meant by that email was, this isn't just another Facebook tool. Now, when you see these coming out, Frank, how long has it been? About 6 months since Facebook tools have been getting promoted?
Yeah, they really started kind of hitting a prime about 6 months ago. But this tool is definitely, it's different. And I think Michael's really kind of alluding to the fact that one of the big things about this tool that makes it difficult to sell is it's a bit different than everything else we've seen. But it does have some really good functionality to it that's important, which we're going to show you today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. So it's been coming out, about 6 months. Facebook tools have really been hitting it hard. You got all the Facebook Live tools. And then you have the Facebook Messenger tools. And this was presented as a messenger tool. But it's definitely something more. And that's why I really like it. Okay, I really like it because it's not just another messenger tool. Okay, it's something a little bit higher, something more elite, which makes it really exciting. And that's why I got Frank in here today, because Frank, he's a pro at reputation management. Frank closes big clients. Now, I think this tool is something super cool to be used for reputation management. But not only that, for any type of niche, any type of business that you're in, any type of online or offline business, even offline businesses need an online presence. They're constantly looking at Yelp. They're looking at Craigslist. They're looking at these different places to see what type of comments they're getting, what type of reviews, what people are saying about them. We know that reviews are killer. Reviews are killer. Just today, I was over at my new place, my new house. I got a new house, and I'm hoping to move into it in a couple of weeks. And I found out, after we bought the house, that it was originally owned by a handyman, right? A huge handyman in our service. This guy, our service area, he was really big, had a ton of customers, had a huge base, and, to the world, looked like he was doing really well. But he ended up losing his business, unfortunately for him. And his house was foreclosed, both of his houses. He had 2 houses, and they were all foreclosed on, and, got divorced. All these really horrible things happened. But what this man did was he destroyed our house when he left. So he lost the house, and he went through it, and because he was losing it, he decided that he was going to make it as difficult as he could for the banks to sell it or for the people to buy it, and all the work that we've had to do. I've had to do a ton of work. Like he ripped out all the, closet hangers. He ripped out all the boards in all the closets. So I've had to putty in like 350 holes. It ripped everything out of the house. Just took the entire back porch off. So today I was actually talking to a family member. I said, I'm thinking about calling this guy back up because I do see him still on Craigslist and things like that, and calling him up and saying, hey, I need help with my back porch. Inviting him out and say, hey, where is it? And he'd be like, hey, what do you mean, where is it? I said, hey, you took it. I was hoping you'd bring it back, you know? So, but you know, reviews are everything. If I went after this guy online, I could destroy any chance of him ever becoming another handyman, online, offline, whatever you want to call it. I could utterly destroy him, but I'm not going to. I'm absolutely not going to, because one, that's unethical. Two, you know, I'm not his customer. It's unethical. And three, it just wouldn't be right. It's unethical. Okay, so that's unethical in that sense. If I was using him for a service and he did really bad, I could do a bad review. But guys, this is how easy it is to destroy someone's business online. And you, being a business owner or representing business owners, having clients that you provide these services for, you know how dangerous it is. All it takes is one person to put a bad comment online about you. Whether it's true or not, it can utterly destroy a business. So what's really neat about this tool is that it uses this proprietary type of technology, this artificial intelligence technology, to read the actual comments that are being submitted on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So it goes through, it reads the comments, and if the comments sound negative, if there's, you know, down, you know, angry looking faces, frowns, emoticons that look depressed, angry, sad, joyful, it will read those different emoticons. It will read the way the person writes their comments, and it will allow you to automatically respond to those comments. So if you get a negative comments, you know, all across all your different media, you can have it automatically respond. Like someone says, gee, your handyman service sucks. You know, you really sucks. You utterly destroyed my house. You could automatically reply, hey, I'm really sorry, Barbara, you had this experience. Please contact us at 1-800-we-won't-screw-you. Okay, or something of that nature. And you can automatically put that in. Now, that is actually, that little part there, what I just said about, I'm sorry, Barbara, putting in names. This is an update that's coming out in about 2 weeks' time for those that get the OTO1. It's called the Platinum Edition, just to let you know. So they're going to put in all these different updates, and one of the updates is going to be able to grab that name and put the short code into your messages, to your comments, to really personalize it. So that's something that's getting ready to be coming out pretty soon. But, you know, that's what you can do. You can just completely stop it. You can stop the negative comments. Or if you get good comments, you know, great good comments coming in, same thing. Good comments come in, you can have it automatically respond. Oh, thank you so much, John. I'm so glad that you enjoyed our video. Thank you for the service. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your purchase. You could even send private messages to them. So if you don't want to make it public, you could privately PM them via Facebook, on YouTube. You could automatically reply. You could send these very customized messages to them. And this is very important. This is why it's not just another messenger tool. Yeah,
absolutely, guys. You know, when it comes to reputation management, as Michael said, I have a lot of experience with reputation management, and I've also had a lot of experience fixing people's online profiles. It's big money because, you know, something business owners like to ignore, or they don't see what's actually happening online. And time is the element when it comes to fixing bad reputation as well as endorsing a good reputation. Time is everything. And, you know, when Michael and I were looking at this tool, we kind of realized that, you know, these are the major platforms that this tool is looking at. And these are places people are talking. Twitter, all the time. Facebook, oh, Facebook, huge, huge, you know, and you need to be able to monitor things that people will find on you, because these properties also get ranked very quickly. Number one way to can a business or to hurt it badly is to leave bad comments online. Whenever I work with a new client, one of the very first things I do is I look at their social profile online. I try to figure out what the temperature of the company is. You know, sometimes these companies deserve it. They're really that bad. And I'll actually say no to this client. I'll say, no, I can't help you. You got problems that technology aren't going to fix, and so I'm not interested. But you know, you see good companies get comments, and unfortunately, I've kind of gotten good at seeing fake comments from real comments, and they stand out. But to the average person, most of them look real, and you know, people can get turned off by one negative comment. Like restaurants are very susceptible to this. Not every person, not every patron comes into a restaurant is going to have a good experience. What's going to happen is patrons are going to come in and the waitress is slow because it's busy, or it's this, or it's that, or it's something. It's something. It's always something. Or the food sucks, or it was cold, or and a lot of people in the States, I like the States a little bit better because in the States, patrons are apt to say, "Hey, darling, this sucks." Whereas in Canada, they don't say anything, but they get online after and go, "Oh, I went to that restaurant and it sucked. Terrible." That's what they do. Canadians are polite, but they once they get behind the what do you call it, the hidden keyboard, they can hide themselves behind a keyboard. They blast them, and it's awful. And you know, one of the first things I do is I say to these people, I say, you got to get rid of those negative comments. Those negative comments are costing a lot of money. To give you an example, there's a company I was working with. They had about 2 or 3 really negative reviews on them, and I mean really negative, and I couldn't get them off. And so I had to leap hurdles to make these things go away. But one of the things I said to the company was, why did you let it sit? Why did you let it percolate? Because now people start talking, and then people see that, and you know, because the guy noticed that this company was doing, I think, close to $10 million in business every year, and they estimate they're losing probably $2 or $3 million a year because of a few negative comments. It's that important. But Michael, I'm not going to go any further on this, but I really want to iterate how important it is and how you can sell yourself as a service by watching these major services using this tool. So Michael, I'll let you go ahead, give these guys a demonstration.
Frank, actually, guys, that was some real gold nuggets there that Frank just gave you. Frank, I was sitting there going, Frank, what are you doing? Frank, you're giving out all the gold, man. That was really good. Thank you, Frank, for sharing. Really, that is truly gold material right there. Frank is dropping gold nuggets left and right. This is like Gold Rush, Frank. That's what I felt like. Well, you
got to get a few good things. You know, even if you just take that away and run with it, you know, you can build a business around that all by itself.
Yeah, very true. Thank you, Frank. All right, so this is the SharpSocial main dashboard, what it looks like in here. And again, you can hook up everything, your Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and your Instagram. It gives you your overall stats. Overall, I have a positive expression on here. Negative expression's pretty high as well. The Facebook account is not mine. It's one of the guys in our group, Gareth, that let me use it. In fact, let me open it up here. So we'll open this up. And let's actually click on view. Let's go check this one out. Okay, so it's called The Blissful Baby. Let's see if I can click on that. Okay. Actually, let me go back over to Facebook here. Okay, so one of the really neat things about this that I absolutely love, and this is where I was talking about with the reputation management. So let's go down, find one of these pages that has good comments on it. Okay, here's one. It's a petition, came out on February 25th. Has around 24 comments. Okay, just signed a petition. They're asking, you know, for looks like a maternity type of NHS. Okay, so yeah, definitely for the ladies here. Bottle feeding, breastfeeding, etc. Okay, so here's some interesting things. Let's arrange it by sentiments. Okay, so we want to see good comments all the way down to bad comments here. Okay, so this is rated as a good comment. It's positive. Joyful is a high rating, the one that's talking about. You can tell it's a concerned lady, so Caroline Smith. Next one, Luann, my midwife advised it had done about 3 weeks old as well. Okay, so that's a positive comment. Now, it's interesting. This person just tagged another person in there, and it came up as positive comment. Now, I would actually call this a false positive. Why? Probably because it's reading the name Summer, and it's probably thinking joy, joyful, summer, joyful, right? Because it is a bot. So, you know, a couple of these things are going to slip through. So I would think her name being Summer will show up as a positive comment because it's probably, like I said, thinking something joyful. Okay, so here's a negative comment. So let's see why this is negative. My little boy only got his sorted out last summer. Here's nearly 6. See that? There's 6 exclamation marks, or 5. He fed only 2 hours and never slept a wink till he was about 2 and still didn't really pronounce some of his words properly. Now, I wouldn't say that's a negative comment, but what it's picking up is anger. It's picking up resentment in the text, right? So it's picking up some deep emotional here. Same here with this one. Yes, I'll second that. Jets, Yates, ... NH Steph could not have been more, okay, more supportive at what was very stressful time. See, there are definitely some things here that are still a little off on that, because that's not, I wouldn't rate that as a negative comment either. My son had cut off.
Michael, I think the good thing about these comments, though, is that they do suggest that there is the need to, if you can respond, especially if you're trying to build a community within, let's say, Facebook, the need to respond is higher than, let's say, some of the other comments. So, you know, like that lady who had all the exclamation points, you know, that could be a, oh yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, you know, and things like that. So,
I totally agree. That is a great add in there, Frank. That definitely is, because these are people, now it's showing up as a negative comment here, but these are people that are deeply concerned. They've experienced something similar. They're worried about their own children. And these are things that you can work on. So if you're doing a Facebook group, or you have a Facebook group like this going, like this lady does, you could actually turn around and monetize on what these people are saying, right? If you're monetizing your group, you could solve a problem, because what I see here with these red comments, I see pain. And in SEO terms, we're always looking for what is the pain point. What's painful? How do we solve it for someone? How do we make someone feel better about it? How do we make them more secure? Now, granted, this is on maternity. You're probably not going to be able to sell them necessarily a product, because the particular topic is about the NHS, the healthcare, and about problems in it. But what you could do is you could start something like a petition, like they were talking about, right? Set up a petition, have people sign up for that petition as well. And especially for the ones that are showing up as negative, because you can see that emotion in there, what would be great is to go right over to response. And you could say, okay, for negative comments, I want to send a comment reply. Something like, thank you for your concern. Please sign our petition and help us change the NHS. And then put your link right there and hit go. And it would automatically reply to all those, what it's saying is negative comments that are really concerned people. And then you get them to sign up. You get them to sign your petition. Or if you're doing something else, you're trying to do an affiliate product, same type of thing. You could automatically say, okay, all positive comments, I want to send a private message directly to them. Or I want to send a comment reply directly to those comments. Neutral comments, you could do the same thing. Response by emotions. Okay, if it was an angry response, you know, percentage of, say, 35%, out of 35% of those that had anger, I want to send a comment reply to. So not every single person gets a reply. What's nice about this is you could set up these percentages like this, and it doesn't look like you're marketing your group. Okay, now that's a little trick. That's something that I was actually going to throw into the bonus video for this. That's a little trick right there. So not everybody gets the same type of reply, or not everybody gets a reply. You can send it to a percentage of the people. So a percentage of them will get these replies that you're doing. So it doesn't look like you're constantly trying to monetize or advertise to the people that are responding, that are engaged in your groups, in your fan pages, right? So that's something that I would do right there. And if you had a lot of negative comments, truly negative comments, not concerned citizens, as we saw over here on those comments, all you'd have to do is go in and you could say, okay, I want to delete every one of these comments. And boom, it automatically deletes it, takes it right out of there. And that's something really good, because Frank was talking about that, how you could just automatically delete it, take it right out. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You could also hit reply here, and you could automatically, you could put in a little reply to each of these individual ones, which is neat. So this is a really slick tool, and like you can go into the insights, you can see, okay, 271 people were talking about this. You can see the overall organic reach, post reach by people who like your page, post impressions by people who have liked your page is 6,000. That's really cool. If you had videos on the page, it'll actually tell you your video length, how many times it's been viewed, all those great stats. Post engagement, 192 likes. 2 people loved it. 0 wows, 0 ha-has. Now, I'm actually one of these guys up on Facebook. I rarely like a post. What I like to do is I go in, I put the wow face, or I put a love face occasionally. I like to use the ha-ha face emoticon, because no one ever does that. See, everybody likes a post because everyone's trained to like something on Facebook. But I like to mix it up with wows, ha-has, and loves. I rarely use sad or anger, but those are all really neat things to track. So that's also really cool, because it tracks how engaged everyone is on your page, which is really, really wild. Like I said, this is definitely not just a another, messenger app. So I'm gonna go over to YouTube here real quick, because I think our big thing is always Facebook and YouTube. Those are 2 of the largest ones. Okay, so you can see my actual one right now, the webinar going live right now. Hasn't really had any reactions here, I don't believe. Let's go in and just double check. Nope. Plus, we are currently live, so it may be skewing the results here. Let me just go back on this. Okay, perfect. So we'll go down and see if we can find some comments. Okay, here's one. That one has it. Let me go to load more here. Okay, that's odd. Never see it take that long. Okay, there was this one video I was looking for. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is one of my videos. Oops. It doesn't look like it's going to load right now. It was taking a little bit longer on this page because I'm currently running several copies of this on the page. Let me go back to main YouTube account here. Sorry about that, guys. Really hoping to have that one working, but let's go to LSG mind melding here. We had 4 comments, so we can look at this. Okay, so this is an older mind meld back from July, and it'll track, average percentage, likes, estimated minutes watched, overall views, 332 views. And I thought we actually had some comments on that. Did you see comments on that video, Frank?
No, the mind melds, we have them set up that they're unlisted, so there's probably not a lot of
That's
comments.
why. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot. That's why it will not pull it up here, because they are unlisted. Let me see if this one would have it. Nope. That one doesn't have it either. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. My YouTube account's not that active. At least, you know, we do so many unlisted videos. It's very rare that we have a live.
The Gatekeepers one looks like it has something in it.
Which one?
Gatekeepers.
Boy, I'm going slow today. No, it has 2 likes. Okay, 2 comments. Let's see. Okay, so both positive comments. Great info, great message. You know, if I wanted to, I could go and respond to them. SEPA can reply and reply automatically.
You know, I was just sitting there thinking about this. You know, like maybe 1 in 100 people, or between 1 in 10 and 1 in 100 people are going to comment on a video that watch it. But, you know, here's another source of getting subscriptions, getting signups and things like that. And it's, you set the software up to, you can set it up to do an automated reply. And when somebody leaves a comment and say, hey, I'd love to give you more information on this, or you know, something I saw here, just subscribe and I'll make sure I send something out to you. And you know, like, you can take action with this too. And I think this is one of the big things I love about SharpSocial.
Yeah, that really is. It's it takes the initiative to take that action, you know, to make it much easier to deal with. So yeah, it's just really a slick, awesome tool. It truly is. Frank, do we have any questions over in Facebook? I mean, not Facebook, on YouTube.
Yeah, let me just take a peek here. I was so busy watching you that I was ignoring the questions. Give me a second.
Actually, I just refreshed it over there. It looks like Dave is active. Very active, Dave.
Okay, yeah, they were asking about seeing the YouTube stuff there, what you did.
Delete the MF. Ooh, swear words. Sorry, Structured. I think he's talking about my Gatekeeper video.
Mm.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was Motley Crue. Just to note, I never said those words.
But it's a unique piece of software. And you know, I remember I used to be in the radio business years ago, and I used to get my hands onto records and things like that from the UK that were new and popular in the UK, and I'd listen to them, and I would get on board with them as soon as I could if I thought they were a good song. And I didn't pick them all right. Sometimes I thought it was a good song and never took off in you know, in Canada or the States. But there's a lot of times I was able to jump the gun and start giving my crowd this sort of thing. And when it comes into play, you look like a hero. Now, the cool thing about the software is it's kind of the same way. Because it's so unique, it's a hard thing for people to kind of go, I don't really get it, or it looks complicated, or whatever. But in the long run, it has a huge amount of potential simply because of the fact that there is no real competition to this tool. And there's a lot of different ways. You know, we were talking about reputation management. We were talking, another business model is just being able to collect subscribers, you know, on a YouTube channel or on a Facebook. Another one is to, you know, engage through Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can we actually use like hashtagging in that, like pick up things from other people's accounts with hashtagging with Twitter? I can't remember.
Not yet. No,
Okay.
That may be an update coming out though.
That would be cool. But the thing is, the tool has a little bit of AI, artificial intelligence, built into it to give you the sediment of the comments. And to me, that is just magic. You know, I've actually was I didn't tell you about this, Michael. I was actually having a dream the other night when I was falling asleep. You know, I have those stupid dreams. As you're just kind of passing out, I was thinking about that, thinking about registering the sediment. And I've done a lot of work with, and a lot of programming with Infusionsoft. And it's something that Infusionsoft, there's a lot of things you can do with it. But gauging sediment of a comment is something you can't do. And I thought about it, I was thinking, oh, it'd be so cool to tie that tool into, into Infusionsoft, and I passed it. And to me, that was just $1 million idea. And it kind of stuck with me. Lots of things you can do with it, which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope that helps you guys. Yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah, let me see if I can get one more thing open here, Frank, real quick. I'm just going to grab some code here. And actually, I just see another comment by, let's see here, who was this? Mike Gebert over on Facebook. So Mike is asking, can you show how to set up after the API key is? Yes. Mike, I'll be honest with you, man. I watched their training video, and you're probably in the same step here. Watched their training video, I was like, what the heck? It took me a few minutes to figure out exactly how to get that API set up. It was a little confusing for me. So absolutely, man, I will definitely go over that with you. So I'll set up in the bonus video, we'll do a training on that, how to set up the API. Definitely.
Yeah. Like any tool, there's so many different ways you can skin the cat, so to speak, that that's the problem. Is both Michael and I have done lots of different business models and made money with different tools. It's one of the reasons why Michael's so good at pinpointing particular tools. It might seem like we talk about a lot of different tools, but really, Michael, when you eventually decide upon one tool to talk about and to mail on, you've probably looked at 10 others, eh?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, he weeds through a lot of them, and he actually shows me a lot of. He shows me probably about half of the stuff he looks at, and even that's too much for me. And but that's one of his strengths, is he's so used to looking at different business models and that like he tries to figure out how the tool will make money, because we try to use the tools we endorse, we purchase, and we try to use them too. We try to build business models around them. And the interesting thing we've been finding is you do a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there. And what happens is sometimes you can tie the different tools together and build a bigger thing, which is unique to you and your business. But sometimes, you just build another income stream, like there's a book that came out. There's a guy, there's multiple books. I'd actually recommend, if you haven't never read, I can't remember the author's name. I'll actually Google it here. It's called Streams of Income, or Multiple Streams of Income.
Yeah.
It's Robert Allen. He writes a bunch of books based upon the concept called multiple streams of income. And the thing is he presents the whole criteria, or the whole argument of creating multiple streams of income. And that's what we've been trying to show you guys, showing you these tools. Just kind of give you a heads up. So
yeah, that's so true. That is definitely true, Frank. That's awesome. Thank you. Guys, I'm going to share my screen for you again real quick. And what I did is I got that YouTube account to finally pop up here. Had to refresh my page. Like I said, I had a lot of windows open. And this is my biggest YouTube video. I've not done anything to promote it. I launched this in 2009. It was a regular video upload. And it has around 96,000 views on it, 570 likes, and 704 shares. So this video constantly gets views. Every single day, views are coming in, new commenters are coming in, and that's really cool. So it's a very active video for me, which is neat. I've never had a video reach that many views on its own, and just something I created myself that I put together a couple of years ago. So you can see I just got a new positive comment here from Emma Jade. Thank you so much for this true story. Okay. The next comment is by this Pedro guy. Totally doesn't believe it. So you can see it rated it as a negative comment. So this is cool. I'm not denying the story, but I doubt very much that St. Michael would kill soldiers. Okay, so it's a war story from the Korean War. It's an interesting story. But anyways, I won't go into that. But it's a neat little story, and you can see, okay, so he had a negative comment. So that was definitely a negative comment, you know, but I don't believe it. But this is ignorant. But I, you know, that type of thing. So that's pretty cool. You can see another positive comment, beautiful story. It's rated really high on Joy. Wow, what a beautiful story, positive comment. No, okay. Jack Turner. Obviously, this was just an angry dude. These comments always make me laugh. Every time I get in here, I see a negative comment like this. I'm like, okay, whatever you're smoking, dude. Beautiful video. Okay, now this is not a negative comment, but what I thought was neat about this is I'm thinking the word exorcism perhaps is being pegged as negative. That's what I'm kind of wondering here. Or it could have been just broken English. Maybe it showed up as a negative comment, but I do find it high on fear. So it says fear 43%. I'm thinking exorcism got pegged by fear. You think of exorcism, you think of the devil, you think of fear, you think of possession. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so more positive comments. A neutral comment. My love for humanity has no walls, so to me, this story is evil. I love it. I'm telling you. I'll sit here and read these comments. I'll laugh out loud like that. That's too funny. Has no walls. Okay, so it showed up as a neutral comment. How can I share this on my, okay, positive. Okay, that's interesting. That shows up. It's a neutral comment, so it's not negative, not positive, not helpful. Is basically what they're saying. Positive, positive. This guy right here for the music. More positive, couple of negatives. Okay. If it's real or not, is it real or not? Trustworthy. Okay. So this is really cool up on YouTube, and you can just totally break this down. So you can go to Insights and look at the insights for this particular video. You look at the analytics. So overall, it received 60 positive comments, 26 negative, and 14 neutral. Now you could go over the response, and this is where you could really manage it really well. Negative comment, set up a canned reply, or you could hit delete and delete them all. Neutral comment, same thing, delete or set up a canned reply. Positive, delete or set up a canned reply, which is neat. Now, here's something that would be wild to do with these videos, with this particular video. If I created a new YouTube video on St. Michael the Archangel or something of that nature, what I could do is I could automatically respond to all the people that had positive comments and say, hey, thank you so much for liking my video. Click here to watch my new video on St. Michael the Archangel. Right? So this is how people start building links, and they start building viewers to their new video that they create. So that's a really great thing. Or even the negative or neutral comments. I could go in and say, gee, I'm really sorry that you're, I don't know, praying to the invisible walls of your consciousness. You know, would you like to talk to me later about this? And you could put a link in here and say, hey, let's do a live webinar about this, or let's meet live about this, or, you know, contact me at idon'thavewalls.com, you know, something like that. So, you know, you can automatically respond to them, set up your canned replies. You know, anytime it's a negative comment, you want to invite them in there so you can take care of business. You know, so you can absolutely get in there and take care of business. But that's pretty cool. You can arrange it by sentiments. You can sort it highest to lowest. You can set up the motions here. So fear, we could, you know, highest to lowest on fear. Okay. Now look at this. This is a positive comment. That's interesting. Look how it came out and said this was a positive comment, but it rated it really high on fear and high on sadness. You know, so struggling to believe these facts. I do believe they can happen. Okay, so interesting. So, you know, it looks like someone's struggling here. So these are really, really neat ways you can just get back in touch with people that are viewing your channels, viewing your videos, and take care of business. Yeah. Frank, do we have any other comments over there?
Oh, you caught me goofing off.
Frank, you bad boy.
Mm.
Okay, so Structured looks like he was asking, can you use the tool to keep the notoriously random comments clean? Absolutely, man. Take off those weird comments. You just delete them all and automatically. So you don't have to go through and try to find these random comments. Dude, that is an excellent, excellent point, Structured. Thank you for saying that, because that brings out another element. You can take care of these weird comments without having to spend hours to go through your YouTube channel or through your Facebook account or through your Twitter or through your Instagram and manually delete. You know, I don't know what you'd have to be listening to. Some serious heavy metal to get through all those. But you can automatically say, okay, you could scan over the comments and say, okay, these are neutral, delete them. Or these are negative comments, delete them. Boom, takes it right off. Your reputation management for the day is done. This is a service that you could use this tool and charge good money for. Frank, what would you use this? How would you use this with your business? And would you charge your clients more for reputation management using this tool?
Yeah, it almost sits in. It's a nice way to soft sell a client, because it doesn't require a lot of work. All you have to do is tie to their major accounts, like the 4 major accounts that they have them. And then you can start monitoring them. You know, you can monitor them, and you know, there's a lot of people who pay a lot of money just to do that, to monitor and make sure. There was one person I was working for. They used to pay somebody full time to monitor their social accounts, so it's full-time wages. Whatever that is, could have been 40,000 a year, 50,000, 100,000. I don't know. But I know that if you came in and said, "Look, I'm going to monitor your YouTube channel. I'm going to monitor your Facebook page, and I'm going to monitor your Twitter account." Let's say that those are the three monster ones. Instagram's up there, but those are the 3 that I look at more than anything else. And let's say you say, "I'm willing to monitor and make replies and flag anything that I see and forward it to you within 2 business days," or something like that. Now, using the software, you know, you can have it set up that it's doing that. And what the cool thing is, it kind of collimates all these things for you quickly, gives you the sentiment of the comments, allows you to answer comments very quickly, but also to catch objective comments or negative comments very quickly as well, to remove them or just to answer them. And I actually recommend answering them over removing them, unless it's something that is totally, totally bad. Like it's really, really bad. And how much could you charge for something like that? That's a good question, actually. I think if you got the right client, charging $500 a month is not unrealistic. I think that's actually pretty low. You know, if it's a small business and they don't have a lot of activity on social platforms, a couple $100 a month, $100 a month. But you know, as they grow, if they're this one person was a celebrity, and you know, you could charge thousands per month, because it wasn't a full-time. It's a full-time job if you're in all 3 of them and watching them and trying to understand. But if you have a tool to kind of collimate everything for you, it saves a lot of time. So there is definitely the ability to make money through this tool, just doing comment management. And you know, will Bob's Plumbing want it? Maybe not, but will I would be selling this to restaurants. And that's the first thing that pops in my mind, especially if you're in a city or whatever, and there's popular restaurants. They will have negative PR. They will have negative comments. If there's a big firm, they will have these things. And you say to them, "It's time for you to fire your social or your social PR section, and I'll be that for you. I'll take care of that problem for you." You hook up the software to their social accounts, and you know, as you get more proficient with it, you're going to get stronger, faster, better. You know, one of the things that I like, and this is probably the number one secret, guys, that has made me more money than anything else. Anytime you have a tool that can automate a procedure that takes man hours or man time or woman time, and you can automate that, even if it's something small, man, do it. Do it. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. And it's one of the reasons why I like this tool, is because it automates getting those comments. You can automate replies. You can automate things that are just, why can't the computer just do it for you? And I have a client that there's a procedure that to do it manually, even using, students or somebody from third world countries to do the job, because it's really simple. The job's got to get done. It's an online job. And even if you're paying student wages or minimum wage, you're still looking at costing $25 to $30 to get this particular job done. Even though it's simple, it's a time eater. So what I did is I automated the whole darn thing from soup to nuts. I know how to program, so that's why it's a boon to me. But I use tools all the time to automate something. Now I took that down and I said to the company that was taking care of this problem, I said, I'll charge you half. Charge you $16 per job to do this. They thought it was a steal of the century. And I make between $2,000 to $5,000 a month with this one customer alone doing this job over and over and over and over using automation. Now this tool here is providing you automation when it comes to social commenting. I like it. So if you can't make money with this, man, you ain't breathing, is what I'm going to say. And that comes across as pretty strong, but I really do believe that.
Yeah, that is so true. Thank you, Frank. That's awesome. Guys, do you have any comments? Does anybody have any questions? Anything, feel free to drop it in the Facebook or up on YouTube here, and we'll be sure to answer it. Yes, Structured is asking, can the canned replies by sentiment include hyperlinks? Yes, they can. And like I said, that is all about to get a major update in about 2 weeks' time.
And that's another nice thing too, is they are looking to keep the software updated and add features into it. And that's really important to me.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. All right, guys, I don't see any further comments coming in here. I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was educational for you in regards to the SharpSocial here and how you can really take over SharpSocial, how you can really take over your market with this awesome tool. So feel free to hit me up on Facebook if you have any other questions, and hope you have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.